What?
Nothing.
You were laughing.
Oh, I'm not laughing at all.
We're a little late today, in case you couldn't tell.
I didn't realize that we were a little late today.
Okay, so we had breaking news overnight, so I was actually working from home at like 5 hours earlier than I go to work.
Okay.
So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you got the breaking news.
We did get breaking news. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But yeah, we were just talking. It's really warm in here. And it's almost as hot as
we've got someone on our staff who clearly thinks that if it's too cold in the newsroom, instead of just, like hitting the thermostat and putting it up a couple of degrees, they just turn the heat on. And none of us could figure out why it was so hot in here this morning. Well, it's, sort of like being in the oven here.
It was so hot
the news is well baked this morning.
Yeah, very good. And it's not going to get any nicer outside, is it?
The humidity's up there right now.
I can tell.
Yeah, and today is going to be a humid day, and temperature-wise, mid-80s for highs today, but with the humidity, it's going to feel like it's in the 90s. So be prepared for that.
What is the percentage of the humidity?
Well, that varies constantly. So the relative humidity to the percentage is useless information. Now, I know there are people out there who go, blah, blah, blah.
What's it?
You want to be worried about the dew point.
Okay.
And you get dew points that are in the 60s, it's humid. That's like the simple. Because if it's, dew point 65 and the temperature's 65, you got 100% humidity. Well, that varies throughout the day as the temperatures go up and down. So
my graphics just kind of went poopy on me.
Oh, that's why you wanted to talk about that. Okay.
It happens.
Okay. Do you have my weather graphics there?
I do. Look at it.
Or can I sing?
No, it's right there.
Okay.
Look.
Yeah, wow, that looks really
nice. We got
nice.
some good rain yesterday, though.
And it depended on where you were. Close to 2 inches of rain in Jackson yesterday.
Bad.
No, we desperately needed it, and we got another shot this week, another couple of shots. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens out there right now. We've got clouds and some thin spots developing in the clouds. We had some pretty thick fog in parts of the area a little bit earlier this morning.
Now your graphics aren't working. Fun, right?
Well, let's take a look at that sky cam there.
There you go.
Okay, and while you're looking at that sky cam, I will attempt to get this to reboot itself.
This is Michigan State University, the campus in East Lansing, and you can kind of see right there near the crosswalk.
You're pointing at it, but nobody can see what you're pointing at.
That's why I'm explaining it. Near the crosswalk, it's still a little...
But after the rain of yesterday, I imagine that will start greening up here real soon.
I was going to say, over here by our time and temperature, it looks kind of nice and green, so...
Well, you can tell where the sprinklers hit and where they don't. Hey, I've skipped by a graphic, but there we go.
There's Jackson.
Get there. It's like the thermostat. Just start pressing buttons, and eventually it will work.
Is yours not working?
No, it's working now.
Okay, cool.
But all I did was just pound on it a few times, and there it goes. Some fog still in Jackson. Jackson, again, it was about 2 inches of rain yesterday, which was welcome news. 1.9, I think, is what we ended up with. Now
it was a steady rain too, which was nice.
Well, depending on where you were, many it was a steady rain. Where I live north of town, not that much rain yesterday.
That's not cool.
Okay, is there something weird going on up
here? It's a day
in your area, because this should be working.
It might be. There you go. You just gotta.
Well, it's not letting me push the button that should make it work, but stick the good with the bad, I guess. Hey, here is a look at our satellite picture, and the clouds are thinning out. The rainmaker of yesterday
what is happening?
Was an area of low pressure that was passing just south of Michigan. That low is now out over Lake Erie. So maybe it's not my computers. It might just be this whole room is...
It's overheating.
That's by the holiday weekend or something. So here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast, and some showers and storms going on off to our east today. Our chance of rain is not zero, but it's about 20%. And that would be during the afternoon hours. There might be a stray shower storm that pops up. This neat little graphic, it animates and it shows the time, and you can see the clouds thin out and then maybe a pop-up shower storm, but it's not going to let me show that to you right now.
Nothing's really working right now.
Nothing's working all that well. So let's take a look at the next 12 hours.
Looks great.
That's great. There's going to be a whole lot of nothing going on out there.
This show will not make our highlight reel.
And here's the no, I think this will make the highlight reel. So, Basically, we're going to be in the mid-80s today. Here, I'm going to go back on camera instead of just sitting there looking at a blank. If I see something pop up here, we'll go back to it. Mid-80s today, it's humid, partly cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower storm popping up in the afternoon. Tonight, we're clear. If you're going to the fireworks tonight, Delta Township, the fireworks are tonight. Should have temperatures mid-70s around 10 p.m. Clear skies, light winds, so the weather cooperates with the fireworks. During the day tomorrow, I think for the 4th itself, we are sunny.
Good.
Humidity will not be as high as today, but it is hot. We're talking highs in the low 90s, so be prepared for that. Lug nuts are back at home tomorrow evening.
They are, and normally we have extra innings on Mondays at 9. They actually are still in Midland, wrapping up their series with the Great Lakes Loons.
So we're just going to add that to the list of the iPads that don't work and everything else.
So Jesse and Adam are actually still up in Midland, which you've been to Midland many times.
Yeah.
Beautiful stadium.
Beautiful city, actually.
Great town, great team. We obviously want them to lose. But they're still up in Midland, so we're actually going to try and do extra innings, we believe, on Wednesday.
Okay.
So just an update for everybody.
But they're home tomorrow.
They're home tomorrow, so on Wednesday we'll recap.
It's going to be hot. If you're going to the game, it's going to be hot. It's going to be, could be in the mid to upper 80s at game time at 7:05 p.m., but it's dry. Stick around for the after the game. The Lugnut shoot off their fireworks. City of Lansing will be doing theirs at Adado Riverfront Park. So you can watch too.
Yeah.
And sit in the seat and, kind of enjoy them. And we've got the chance of showers, maybe a storm, Wednesday night and into Thursday. And we're going to have to watch Wednesday night because we're going to be going from temperatures in the 90s to readings that are back down into the 70s and 80s on Thursday. So there you go. You got everything working here?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I think.
Well, take us to that everybody's favorite, the First Alert Weather app promo.
I have that right there.
Are you sure you got it?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Hey, if me standing here babbling and you did not understand what we were talking about, we have where you can see the graphics and they move and do all sorts of things.
They tell you first pitch forecast.
All of that. It's on the News 10 First Alert Weather app. You can download it at Google Play, the Apple App Store. It is free. The videos play, there's sound on them and everything, so you won't want to miss it. Our First Alert Weather app, Mid-Michigan's favorite weather app.
It's super easy to use. I was actually using it over the weekend.
Watching the rain?
Watching the rain.
Definitely watching the rain.
I wanted to make sure I could get out and go grocery shopping and not get caught in a downpour. And then also for my plans tomorrow and this weekend, because I looked at other towns that I'm going away for. So,
I also used it yesterday when I was heading home from my hometown back up to Lansing. And, I'm tracking it and I'm going, I got to leave here before it starts to downpour.
Right.
But my mom, it happens every single time I try to leave that Michigan goodbye, right? You're like, okay, I got to go. And she's like, wait, let me show you these new pants I got. And I'm like, okay, but I need to go. And then a whole hour passes. And of course, by the time I leave, I hit the downpour.
Yeah.
Yep, I was soaked by the time I got in the car. And I was like, thank you, Mom. I love you.
It happens. Mom, they
so
mean
excited.
well. They mean well.
It's always right when you're leaving. They're like, wait.
I know, right? Oh, all right. Well, welcome to the chaos that is this morning over here.
Yeah.
I'm going to try very hard to have it fixed before the 2 o'clock show. Yeah, we're going to have everything reset. I'm going to go get maybe some IT help before
Technology's fun.
Before the 2 o'clock show, where Taylor will be back. But first, we're going to talk a little bit. I mentioned I was woken up overnight by our producers because we had breaking news overnight.
Yep,
I actually started working about 5 hours earlier than normal because there was an Amber Alert issued for a 2-year-old girl taken out of Lansing.
Yeah, so everyone make sure you're on the lookout. But the alleged kidnapper of the 2-year-old, Winter Cole Smith, is now in police custody. So there you go. Well, Rashad Trice arrested by the St. Clair Shores Police Department. But authorities say baby Winter is still missing. So Lansing police believe that the 2-year-old was kidnapped by Trice around 11:30 last night on the city's south side. And at this time, we don't know if this kidnapping was a random act or if Trice has some type of relationship to the missing child. However, authorities say that when Trice took Smith, he was in a 2013 Chevy Impala. Police are still looking for the 2-year-old Winter Cole Smith, who's a black female, and she is on your screen right now to the left. So you may have gotten the alert on your cell phone around 2:45 this morning. Winter Cole Smith has braided shoulder-length hair and was last seen wearing a white T-shirt with rainbows. Now, as we continue to follow this story, we will provide you with updates both on air and online as soon as we get them. But that is Winter Cole Smith to your left, and the braided little ponytails.
Her hair will probably be longer than what is in that picture. They're saying it is now shoulder length.
Shoulder length, so longer hair.
We don't have a height or a weight on her, but we do have that she was wearing a different shirt, like Taylor said, and her hair is more shoulder length than it is in that picture. And the man on the right, he was arrested in St. Clair Shores. So
that is Rashad Trice on the right, and you're looking for a 2013 Chevy Impala. But again, you're just looking for those two individuals together, or
well,
separately.
He's already in custody.
Okay, sure, but we're looking for her. We're looking for her. There we go.
All right. Well, as you are getting ready to hit the road for the holiday, make sure your cell phone is not in your hand. I was extremely cautious of this over the weekend.
I actually, when I was driving home, there we go, I saw a lot of police officers out on the road. They had their radars. They were looking for people with cell phones. In fact, when I went home, I was telling all my friends and family, hey, remember, do not have your phone in your hand. It needs to be on the little, like, in your cup holder, on the little mount on the dash, or just don't
I had mine on the passenger seat.
Yeah, there you go. And so, sometimes I use mine with the GPS and music, but I put it up on the mount on the dash to make sure it's not in my hand, so I had to give a little reminder.
I know.
But yeah, so as of this past Friday, it is illegal to hold a cell phone or any device while being behind the wheel of a operated vehicle in Michigan. That is the key word. If it is operating, you cannot have your cell phone in your hand. So there are a few things that Ingham County Sheriff Scott Rigglesworth wants you to know about this new law.
The single biggest change in the new law compared to the old law is operating versus moving. So if you're operating a vehicle in Michigan, even if you're stopped at a stoplight or stop sign, you're still considered operating, and that cell phone just simply can't be in your hand to do anything other than to summon police, fire, EMS is the spirit of this law.
So under the new hands-free driving law, people who are pulled over for violating it face a fine of $100 or 16 hours of community service. Now, 3 violations within a 3-year period means someone will need to take a driver improvement course. And if a traffic crash happens and the at-fault driver was using a phone while driving, the fines are doubled. So again, new hands-free driving law for distracted driving. Do not have it in your hands. Again, hands off the devices, both hands on the wheel.
Yes. Make sure you get everything set up before you take off. Make sure you get your maps going, your music going.
That's what I do. Crystal sees me in my car, queuing up my songs, getting everything going, and then I get it out of my hands, and then I drive away.
Yeah. So make sure you have all that going, and it does also count when you're at a stoplight.
Yes.
Or a stop sign. It does still count. You cannot have it if you're at a stoplight or a stop sign because you're still technically operating that vehicle.
And that was the biggest catch. That's why we're really trying to emphasize it right now.
Yeah.
People are like, but I'm stopped. Yeah, but the car's still running. The vehicle's still running.
You're still in drive.
Yep.
So hopefully. But I have found myself putting it away, pulling over. I'll pull over to a parking lot if I have to text somebody back or take a call or check something else out on my map. So it seems inconvenient, but it's really not.
It's making sure people stay safe and just making sure that you stay safe. There are many things that you can do when you're off the road, like texting, setting up your music, GPS. But other than that, the only time that you can use your device while driving is if you're calling a first responder, anything like that. So
have your passenger text or change the music. I know giving up the music control might be tough. But definitely hands-free from now on. And actually, the sign is now at a lot of the state line markers.
Yeah, and the other one, actually, when I was driving back up, I've noticed a lot on my drives.
Yeah.
But the other thing that you'll see is not just on those signs, but on the construction signs is where you'll see it too, where it'll be like, this road is closed coming up, but it'll also switch and say, new driving law in Michigan, cannot have a device in your hand. Something like that. That was not verbatim, but something along the lines of you cannot have a phone in your hands.
All right. Well, keep that in mind as you head out on the roads this holiday. But you are going to be sticking around. What can we expect on News 10 today at 11?
Yeah, so coming up today on News 10 today at 11, we will be recapping the latest on the missing 2-year-old. Again, that is Winter Smith. We showed you that picture a little bit earlier.
It's also on our website.
Yeah, so you can find it in many different places. Also, talking about fireworks safety. So all the safety tips for you and your pets as fireworks light up the skies over the next couple of days here. I know some of them were going off over this past
I
weekend.
heard some last night.
Yeah, I heard
Which
some
I thought
last
was
night
weird.
too.
Like, yeah, because we live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah. So I was hearing the
I thought it was
fireworks.
weird.
Yeah, and I was making sure my cat was okay, but she's
Same.
fine. It's the dogs you have to worry
Yeah.
about. You know, they get a little anxious. They don't know what's booming up in the sky.
We don't know what the sky
They're just
explosions
trying to protect you, right? Give you a little
Yeah.
warning. Also, the average age of a first-time mother reached a record high of 27
really
years in
interesting.
2021. So we'll hear from a doctor on the safety of getting pregnant later in life. I know a lot of women talk about this. And also, we are back here at 2 o'clock with all of your First Alert forecast updates. We'll also have what to expect coming up on First at 4 today, what to expect during, yes, First at 4,
Yep.
and 90 minutes of news. I was getting confused because tomorrow we do not have an 11 or First at 4. So
Tomorrow's going to be different.
Tomorrow's 4th of July. Crazy, I know, but no 11, no 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes.
Today we have that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll fill in the 6 and 11 for Dave and Ann.
And
David Ann, there
we
you go.
probably will not have any digital shows either unless there's severe weather.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. I'll be back here at 3:30. I believe Fred is going to be in for Tim. My phone's going off like
I know.
nonstop.
Well, it's the 4th of July. I got
know.
some scheduled shifts. You
Yeah.
have people out on the lakes grilling. They're having fun. So I'm sure you'll just be tuning in here and there for updates.
We are going to talk about Ricky Fowler winning the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Yes,
though.
I saw that.
So
I did.
we're going to talk a little bit about that. A lot of signings by the Red Wings as free agency started on Saturday. A couple people coming back to Michigan. Couple players are no longer with the Red Wings. We'll talk about
There you
that.
go, all the
So
updates.
make sure you get all of your questions in for weather at 2 o'clock, and then for Stout on Sports featuring Fred Human at 3:30. You can email us. You can leave a message right here on this chat
Yes,
if you're watching
live
us.
chats.
Facebook Live and YouTube Live, you can live chat with us. So
There you go. Yes, live chat. So if you want to do weather, if you want to know what's coming up later in the newscast, if you want to learn a little bit more, or Studio 10,
Yeah.
you have all of that
or you
stuff
just want to
too.
say hi,
Yeah.
or where you're heading out.
We have people give us like little fun tidbits. I think last week, if I can remember her name correctly, I think it was Tina.
Yes.
Tina wrote in saying that the humidity helps the plants.
Yep. And
Well,
that if
yeah,
you have
super
with
humid this past weekend.
with the air quality alerts, there was what kind of plants can help filter that air.
And actually, so maybe a little tease ahead to First at 4 today. We're bringing in someone from Michigan State's little landscaping, and so they're going to tell you some of the plants and foliage that might help your lawn.
I love that.
There you go, especially with all the droughts we had and
Yeah, some of the stuff needs
air
to
quality. You can have a lot of that air kind of purify and help a bit.
be. All right, and Thomas says hi from Newport, North Carolina.
Oh, hello, Thomas. Good morning.
Hello.
There you go. See, that's awesome.
That's all you
I
have to
love
do.
that. Yeah,
So,
that's it.
I don't, and like we said, I don't know of any other newscast that lets you live chat with
No.
the meteorologists and the anchors and the reporters. So,
North Carolina. That's
yeah.
so cool. Hi, Thomas. Hope you're having fun over there. That's awesome.
all right. Well, that's what we have going on. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Tyler will be back on News 10 today at 11.
There we go. Have a great Monday morning.